Good evening, I'm Leah Lando. Thank you for joining us tonight. That breaking news, another former aide to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo coming forward detailing accusations of sexual harassment. We have team coverage, including local leaders reacting to the news. But first, we go straight to the Capitol for the very latest with Jennifer Seelig.
Good evening. According to the New York Times, 25-year-old Charlotte Bennett says Governor Cuomo asked her questions about her sex life, if she has ever had sex with older men. According to the New York Times, Bennett was the executive assistant and health policy advisor in the Cuomo administration until she left in November. She tells the Times the most unsettling episode happened back in June when she was alone with Cuomo in his office here at the state capitol in Albany. She said along with asking very personal questions, he also allegedly made a comment that he was open to relationships with women in their 20s. While Bennett has not tweeted about her own allegations, a few days ago she retweeted Lindsey Boylan, who is the former aide that made the initial allegations regarding sexual misconduct by the governor. Tonight, the 63-year-old governor is responding to these allegations. He says Miss Bennett was a hardworking and valued member of his team and has every right to speak out. The statement goes on to say, quote, "I never made advances toward Miss Bennett, nor did I ever intend to act in any way that was inappropriate. The last thing I would have ever wanted was to make her feel any of the things that are being reported," end quote. He added he had no further comment and asked New Yorkers to withhold any judgments until the independent review is complete. Former federal judge Barbara Jones will lead that independent review. Tonight, Beth Garvey, special counsel and senior advisor to the governor, also releasing a statement saying, quote, "Miss Bennett received the transfer she requested to a position in which she had expressed a long-standing interest and was thoroughly debriefed on the facts, which did not include a claim of physical contact or inappropriate sexual conduct," end quote. Garvey also says there will be no limits to the scope of Judge Jones' review. We'll continue to follow the story for you on air and online. Reporting at the state capitol, I'm Jen Seelig.
All right, Jen, thank you for that. Our team coverage continues right now with Jack Watson. And Jack, you caught up with a state senator right here in our area. He is calling for an investigation. What can you tell us about that?
That's right, Leah. I spoke with Senator Jeremy Cooney. He's echoing bipartisan support for an investigation as the governor now faces a second accusation of sexual harassment.
Well, they're deeply disturbing allegations, and I believe that we have to start from a place of listening.
State Senator Jeremy Cooney represents much of the Rochester area in Albany. Tonight, Senator Cooney tells me the latest allegations against the governor warrant an investigation.
And I believe that an independent, non-political investigation needs to take place.
In a New York Times report, the governor's accuser, a former aide, says Cuomo made inappropriate comments towards her. It's an allegation the governor denies. 5 other senators, including Republican Pamela Helming, who represents a large part of our area, issued a joint statement reading in part, quote, "His alleged predatory actions are egregious, and if the account is accurate, they have crossed the line. Governor Cuomo now more than ever must be investigated." It's another controversy surrounding the New York governor, a separate allegation of sexual harassment, and the nursing home controversy garnering national headlines in recent weeks. With tonight's allegations against the third-term New York governor, Senator Cooney says the governor's accusers need to be respected and heard.
The victims deserve to be treated with respect and to go through a thorough process so that they can be heard.
And Leah, many more lawmakers are reacting tonight, including State Senate Republican leader Rob Ort. He expressed doubts about Judge Jones leading the review and says, quote, "We need a truly independent investigation, which is why I continue to support the calls of my colleagues for a special prosecutor appointed by the Attorney General." Now, Congressman Tom Reed, who we know has been weighing a gubernatorial run himself, has said, quote, "Such behavior is disturbing and unacceptable. Governor Cuomo must be held accountable under the law to ensure justice is served." That is Congressman Tom Reed speaking. Leah.
All right, Jack, thank you so much for that. Of course, something we'll continue to follow. And we are learning more about the federal judge leading that review. Judge Jones was appointed to the bench, that is, by President Bill Clinton, a Democrat, in 1995. As a judge, she struck down a portion of the Defense of Marriage Act, denying federal recognition of same-sex marriage, in a ruling later upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. After retiring, she joined the law firm Bracewell, focusing on corporate compliance and investigations. Her arbitration work included a 2014 decision throwing out Ray Rice's suspension by the NFL for punching his fiancée in an elevator in an attack recorded on video. To recap, the first allegation now against Governor Cuomo from former aide Lindsey Boylan, published on Twitter. That was back in December. Boylan then published an article on Medium.com detailing the allegations against the governor. Today we're learning former aide Charlotte Bennett is also accusing the governor of misconduct. Cuomo has denied the allegations in both cases, and we have all the details regarding this story on our website, rochesterfirst.com. Tune in to Empire State Weekly tomorrow as well. It's at 6:30 in the morning for continuing coverage from Albany. Moving on to a developing story tonight where police say a man was gunned down by his brother late last week. According to police, 21-year-old Jordan Reen was shot and killed on Lapham Street. We're told 31-year-old Robert Reen Jr., the victim's older brother, turned himself in today. According to officials, the two lived together. An argument broke out between them and turned violent. According to police, Jordan Reen was shot with a .22 caliber rifle. That was recovered. Robert Reen Jr. has been charged with murder. He's scheduled to be arraigned in Rochester City Court on Monday. U.S. regulators have authorized the single-dose shot by Johnson & Johnson that could help speed vaccinations. J&J has said it can supply enough to vaccinate 20 million people by the end of March. A new mass COVID vaccination site is set to open next week right here in Rochester. A vacant parking lot on St. Paul Street is being transformed into a place where underserved communities can get the vaccine. Officials say data shows only 4.7% of African Americans and 2.8% of Latino people in the state have been vaccinated at this point. Today, volunteers with Common Ground Health went door to door to spread the word.
For some people, registering online is going to work. For some people, it's not. And we want to get the word out, especially in specific zip codes in the city of Rochester, to make sure that we don't leave anyone behind, especially communities of color.
More than 46 million Americans have received at least one dose of the vaccine made by Pfizer or Moderna, and about 22 million have received the second dose required for the full protection. Many gym owners and lawmakers are asking the state to increase capacity from 30% to 50%. Advocates say they continue to follow vigorous safety measures.